Hey y'all, thanks for stopping by. So last week was pretty crazy news-wise, and one story that got swept under the rug that you maybe did not see was regarding a new directive signed by the Trump administration. It authorizes the Pentagon to use military force against Latin American countries, specifically against drug cartels, which they have deemed terrorist organizations. This may sound alarming to some of you, shocking that the United States would use the military against one of the nations we share a border with, but this was a campaign promise Trump made on the last campaign trail. Frankly, he made these statements during his first term as well, but he didn't really get much accomplished there or wasn't able to do the things that he dreamed about doing in Mexico. But I remember back in 2023 when they actually used the words battle plans. Sources on Trump's team in 2023 even used the term attacking Mexico, drawing up battle plans. But now you can't use that language. You can't call it an invasion. You can't call it a land grab. You can't call it a power steal. This is protecting the children. This is the war on drugs. Because, of course, all of this has to do with fentanyl. Because somehow extorting the government of a nation that is plagued with a crime epidemic is going to stop the crime from happening. We can all use the United States as an example of this. When the war on drugs was in its full swing here, all those polices sure stopped people from doing coke, from buying weed, from doing all sorts of drugs. That definitely worked for us. So forcing another country to try and do that should work as well, right? This should go without saying. But the president of Mexico, Claudia Sheinbaum, she doesn't want anything to do with this. She doesn't want another country's military to come into her country and try and enforce their laws. However, in the time the second Trump administration has been underway, there have been two prisoner transfers that President Sheinbaum has done to the United States, all regarding drug traffickers or members of cartels and gangs and stuff like that. And this has been heralded as a big win by the GOP, but I'm really confused by that because why are we paying for other countries' prisoners? Why are we forced to foot the bill to incarcerate people who did crimes in other countries? Do you just like the idea that they're being tortured over here instead of tortured over there? Why are you okay with your tax money being spent on this stuff? I don't know. I just find that part really confusing. America's got some of the biggest prisons in the world. Of course, we need to get prisoners from all over the world to come and hang out in them. But that doesn't seem to be enough for this current administration. After all, these are plans being drawn up to use military force or to threaten military force. And people on his team will say that this is not a negotiating tactic, that this is not the art of the deal, that if things don't change in a massive way, that military action is a guarantee to happen in Mexico. And I find that threat disturbing because you're threatening a nation's sovereignty. You're threatening a border nation. You're threatening one of our biggest trading partners. And I genuinely believe that if military action is taken against Mexico, if we send troops over there, if we drop a bomb over there, that is the end. There's not going to be any coming back from that for the United States. We are going to be seen for what we are, warmongering, bloodthirsty, frankly, an evil nation. And it makes me feel bad that I have to live here. Now, the actual solution to something like this would be joint operations, providing troops to Mexico to use for their operations, for training, sending them supplies, whatever they want, so they can enforce their own laws on their own citizens who are doing their own crimes. It's just an insane concept to me to invade a country because of gang members and gang activity. It would be like if Canada decided to invade the United States because Folk Nation's been stealing hubcaps off of cars, and now it's going to become an international crisis. I don't really know where this is going to go. I hope that nothing's going to happen out of this. It's a good bet usually to put it on nothing ever happens, and especially with this one, I would say, because once again, if we actually do drop bombs in Mexico, that's going to be an act of war. And I don't know who's going to be on our side for that one, frankly. But I guess until this administration does something new to shake the balance of world security and national sovereignty, y'all try to have a good day.